Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live afternoon edition. Good Saturday afternoon. It's 1 p.m. Eastern here, 10 a.m. Pacific, and we hope you're having a great Saturday. This is not a pop-up show. This is actually a scheduled show with some special guests we have joining us in just a moment. Playwright and screenwriter Dean KANER and actor-director Nick Corley are joining me here live. We're going to have a great conversation and lots of light, love, and levity, or levity as we call it as well. We welcome you to the Jim Masters Show live. If you're just checking us out right now on YouTube, normally we do YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the other places, Periscope, Twitch. We have an exclusive broadcast coming to you live worldwide right now on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. If this is the first time you're joining us, well, we've been doing this show for 21 weeks now, going on 22. We're close to 150 episodes, and we do this show every single day live. Our regularly scheduled time is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We will be on tonight live on YouTube at Jim Masters TV, Facebook, Periscope, and Twitch, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So 2 shows today, 2 live shows, the one we're doing right now, and then another one tonight. And our guest tonight is Steve Solier, and he's an amazing writer and actor and voice artist. He's voiced so many incredible characters and animated characters. He's got a phenomenal book out about his wonderful friendship with Groucho Marx. He's a television script writer. He's written for so many incredible shows like Murder, She Wrote and so many more, and movies. And he's going to be live and direct from Los Angeles. That is tonight. We're going to he's got a real funny sense of humor. He's just quick-witted, and we've been having a good time just preparing this episode. So Steve is on tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Again, if you're watching for the first time, we do this show every day. I'm a television and radio personality, host, presenter, actor, journalist, writer, producer, voiceover artist, narrator, stage MC. And for years, people asked me to create an entertainment lifestyle talk show series, sort of bringing back the lost art of conversation. And that's what we do every single day with extraordinary guests from Broadway, Hollywood, television, music, film, celebrity friends as well, and folks in science, health, wellness, culinary arts, sports, comedy, all right here. We go on location. We do pop-up shows. We've done food segments. This show is a well-rounded entertainment lifestyle talk show with something for everybody. But the main thing is there's positivity, inspiration, and sometimes we get into some really cool, deep conversations as well with our guests, which is extraordinary. So usually we have a nice fancy glass with something special in it that we toast, but in the afternoon we've got our nice cup of coffee. So if you got your cup of Java or tea or whatever it is, we toast you and you and you and you. We welcome you this afternoon to our afternoon edition, live this Saturday, of the Jim Masters Show Live. Again, our regularly scheduled time, and you can find us again tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, every day. And it's really cool. Let's greet some of our fantastic viewers from around the world. We have viewers here that love to tune in, and we're going to have a special show tonight. We're going to wish happy birthday to Juanita tonight as well. She watches from South Africa. We have folks from all around the world. And good to see you, Willie, watching in the Netherlands and beautiful Holland. Nice to see you in the afternoon time, early evening for you, because you're several hours ahead, so you probably like this afternoon time, right? I know when we do the show at 7 p.m. Eastern live, it's like 1 a.m. where you are in the Netherlands, and you're always watching and tuning in. Good to see you as well. From South Africa, Juanita is here as well. Hello, Jim and everyone. Thank you very much for joining us, and happy birthday as well. We're going to sing you happy birthday tonight in our 7 o'clock show. Willie is toasting as well, and good to see you, June, my dear friend June Rachelson Aspa. Hey guys, I am here. That is fantastic. Good to see you, June. Tulips from Netherlands with Willie. Kathy is here as well. Good afternoon, Jim, and all the lovely family from Cleveland, Ohio. Good to see you. Cheers to iced tea. You're having iced tea as well. That's really, really cool. All the great folks that are tuning in today were exclusively on our YouTube channel, and we thank you for being a part of the show today. We're going to be doing a lot more on YouTube on the Jim Masters TV channel, which has been there since 2009. Unbelievable. We invite you to subscribe to the channel as well. All 21 weeks of the Jim Masters Show live series is there for your enjoyment. And again, there's some other cool content on there as well. Masters Mantras, which are these inspirational positive videos that we do. And some of my professional television work is on that channel as well. So that's Jim Masters TV. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, at Jim Masters TV as well. So again, if you're joining us for the very first time, we welcome you. This is a show that we've been doing for quite a long time, and it's an undertaking to do it live every single day, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. Hope everybody's doing well. I love checking in with everybody. And again, we've got very special guests joining us on this special afternoon episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. As mentioned, we have playwright and screenwriter Dean KANER here on the show, and actor-director Nick Corley. And there's some really cool things that they're working on collaboratively, and they're putting together a new fun political humor comedy web series called The Jerry Duncan Show, which actually was on Broadway, and then, of course, the world sort of paused back in the springtime. So they're going to be talking about that, and also their individual careers as creative artists in the field, and we're excited to have them here on the show. Let's welcome them right now. Let's welcome Nick Corley and Dean KANER. Good to see you guys. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. Everybody's got their Google Chrome downloaded, and everybody's got everything ready to go. Welcome to the world of the internet, right?
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing? Nick, how are you doing? You're in New York, right?
I'm in New York, doing okay, hanging in.
Fantastic.
Crazy times.
And Dean, you're in Phoenix, right?
I'm in Phoenix. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely. Where it's about 212 degrees, right?
Yes, it is. It's actually past that right now, which is bad enough.
That's it. So I'm really excited to have you guys here, and you're working on this really cool project called The Jerry Duncan Show. Tell us about the inspiration for this, originally as a play on stage, Broadway, and now morphing into this web series. Tell us about this. It's my friend and our friend June was telling me about it. It sounds really cool, funny, and exciting. And I've seen little, clips, and we do have some video to show everybody as well. But how did the idea of this get started?
Well, actually, I was listening to a DJ in Phoenix. He was real bombastic, arrogant. It's a show that I listened to all the time. It was a talk show. And so he wasn't even listening to his guests. I mean, one time I thought he was actually ordering lunch while the guest was talking. And so I said, you know what? I got to answer for these guests. I got to be this guy. And so while the guests were talking, I would answer real sarcastically. And I said, you know something? I'm just going to put this on paper. This is kind of funny. And that's how I created this DJ called Jerry Duncan. He's kind of, if Howard Stern and Donald Trump had a love child, it would be Jerry Duncan.
So then you said, we want to turn this into an actual
right. So what I did was I started writing different sketches.
Yeah.
And then I submitted it to different humor columnists, to humor publications online. And Humor Times, www.humortimes.com, they liked what I was writing, and so they published my first one. It was an interview with Ben Carson, and so it went over really well. And so I started writing other interviews of other politicians, and then I started introducing celebrities like Roseanne, and so we did topical humor that was going on, and politics especially. And that's what Humor Times is all about. So I got a regular column. So I submit. So I've done over 150 Jerry Duncan columns. But then one day I said, you know what? I want to parlay this into a play, because I've always liked to write plays. I have written plays. I've had plays produced. And so then I took Jerry Duncan, created a different type of situation where he has a home life and then he has a studio life, and got in touch with Joe Batista, who's the 13th Street artistic director over in the Village. And he loved it. He said, "This is great." I worked with Joe before in another play. And so he said, "I want to produce this thing. We don't have much of a budget and you'll have to kick in a few bucks, but we're going to do this on a low budget. And I know exactly who I want for actors." And so we did this, and it was very successful. It was off Broadway, but we got a rave review in Broadway World. And that kind of got me pumped. Like, there's no more theater. We were right in the middle of this thing. We just started. And the pandemic broke out the second week. So I didn't want this to go to waste. I've always wanted to do YouTube series. And I got in touch with June, because June knows everybody in New York. I mean, if the baby is born today, June knows who that baby is. And so she introduced me to Bart.
And she knows that it's not hers, too.
Yeah, she knows it's not hers. And so so I connected up with Bart, and the three of us teamed up, and we decided to be co-producers on this. And then we started looking for a director, and that's how we met Nick. Nick had the greatest audition. It's probably the best audition since Jerry Seinfeld interviewed Michael Richards when he did his lines standing on his head. Nick has a great sense of humor, and he brought in, Nick can tell the story, but I believe, Nick, you brought in an urn, right?
Yes. Well, it's my mom passed. Both my parents passed away in 2018, and then we decided with my mom's. For some reason, my mom's ashes ended up at my house. My brother brought them from the West Coast. My mom grew up in Brooklyn, and we thought we'd slowly every year for her birthday, because we used to get together for her birthday. And I should say, June plays mom, dead mom on the show. We were going to scatter her ashes in Brooklyn, and in San Francisco was her favorite city that she lived in, and things like that. So we're going to, every year on her birthday, we're going to meet. But now, because of COVID, we haven't been doing that. So my mother is sitting on my bookcase shelf. And so that led to other things. And basically the show became a lot about a guy who's trying to move on, but is kind of unable. So he has conversations with his mother and stuff, and he's figuring out how he moves on in life. And the radio show's taking off, and it's introducing to people. So we're looking forward. Right now we're shooting under COVID umbrella. So that's going to be fascinating. All the actors are shooting in their individual places, and we're editing it all together. So it'll be a lesson in editing.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to have a lot of Tums and a lot of aspirin and even
Yes.
kaopeptate next to you when you do that, getting involved in editing. I'd love to introduce you guys a little bit more to the audience in terms of your individual backgrounds, too. For you, Dean, tell us early on, what were some of the inspirations that set you on the path of becoming a screenwriter, a playwright, and working in this industry?
Well, as a youngster, many, many years ago, I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to connect up with Stan Laurel from Laurel and Hardy. And so I was able to, I got really interested in Laurel and Hardy, and I wanted to know more about them. There were no books out, nothing about them, didn't even know who was alive. But the Hal Roach Studios actually forwarded a letter that I had written to Stan Laurel, and Stan Laurel was nice enough to write back to all of his fans if he could. But anyway, long story short, we started corresponding. I got to meet with him a couple of times at his apartment in Santa Monica, California, and I received over 31 letters. And a lot of the letters were about his career. Did he enjoy doing what he was doing? I learned that he was a really great writer. He wrote almost all the scripts for Laurel and Hardy. He was immersed in his work. He was an understudy to Charlie Chaplin. That was his idol. And that's how he came to America as an understudy to Charlie Chaplin in an English music hall tour. And his relationship with Oliver Hardy. But long story short, it was just a great relationship. And I said, you know what? I kind of want to be in this business somehow, but not as an actor, more like a writer, because that's what I like to do. Even back in high school, I like to do skits and things like that. And that's how it started out. And then I started writing plays and co-producing plays. And I've had quite a few, actually. And I've been fortunate to have in different cities, Minneapolis, Los Angeles, Chicago, Memphis, all over. But this has been my favorite by far. The talent, the team we work with, Nick, Bart, June, just a great team. And this is what's going to make this thing go even further than just a YouTube series.
Very exciting, very exciting. How about you, Nick? Tell us about your background early on and how it brought you to the point that you're at now.
I grew up in California, but my mom was from Brooklyn. So my mom grew up with a history of going to the theater. So as kids, she took us all the time to the theater. And that's kind of where my love of theater started. I think I was 6. She took me to see The Sound of Music in a tent in Anaheim, a summer tour. And that did it. And then I went to school. I went to Syracuse University, studied theater there with some wonderful teachers and things. And came to the city, just started doing it. So I've always done a few things. I've always written and directed and acted. So I've been lucky in doing that in all these different ways. And now things have started moving more digitally online and stuff. I've been working on videos with my friend Nolan Doran. And I just did a big benefit for a wonderful organization called Positive Exposure, which if you Google them, they're amazing, the work they do with disabilities all around the world and how we see people in a more positive light and see the humanity in people. And then I've been lucky. I've done Broadway shows. When the COVID thing happened, I was the associate director on Plaza Suite with Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker. So we had just finished our out-of-town tryout in Boston, which went great, to be in the Colonial Theater where the original Oklahoma started. And to hear a full house laughing like that with Neil Simon's words was amazing. It's where the original Plaza Suite also did their tryout. So we were, it was the night of our invited dress rehearsal before the day of our first preview, and everything was shut down. So that's the way it goes. And we're all tucked in safely in our apartments and getting by. But this opportunity came along to work with Dean and Bart Chateau and June. And I had a wonderful interview with Dean. We talked on the phone and talked about how I saw things happening within the show and how we could shoot it under COVID and all these things. It was fun. And Dean has such a great personality and he's fun to talk with. He's quick to laugh and he's a happy person. And I think that's a joyous thing to be around at this time, especially too. So we started working on the show and figuring out, we've got some wonderful Broadway people involved in the show, playing some of these characters. A guy named Josh Hyman, who's our Jerry Duncan, and Jeff McCarthy, who's playing Biden. And Dean, you could help me out with some of the names. It's an amazing list of people who said, sure, I'd love to do that. I can shoot from my home. Laura Molina, we just shot the other day. She plays Ginger Daniels, who's Stormy Daniels' sister. And Allison Frazier, we're hoping will still be available to come on board and play June's living sister and causing some trouble. And who else am I thinking? Oh, Molly
Erdman, who played Elizabeth Warren, who has an actual act as Elizabeth Warren. And on one of her episodes, she's had 3.1 million views.
It's so funny. She did this YouTube video. It's Elizabeth Warren Returns the Library book. I think it was on Twitter. It was on something. It went all over the place. Instagram. Those kids with their Instagram. So it went all over the place. You could probably still see it. Elizabeth Warren Returns a Library book. She's just
You guys
hysterical.
don't have bathing suit photos of yourselves on Instagram like everybody else?
No,
No.
I draw the line. As a very pasty person, no one
Oh,
has
I
to
do want to
see me
add
in a bathing suit.
Arkin. Oh, and Matthew Arkin.
Matthew Arkin
Bernie
plays
Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
He's
who's-
awesome. He was a guest on the show, I say about a month and a half ago here.
Yeah,
and,
he's
that's exciting.
hysterical, brilliant. I've known Matthew for years, and Bart Chateau is playing Trump, and we're shooting Christina Bianco, who's a wonderful impersonator and stuff. She's playing Sarah Palin. Who am I leaving anyone out?
Let's see. Maria, we've already mentioned. No, I think we covered
Oh,
it.
Maria. This is my building. She's playing Ocasio-Cortez. We're shooting her today. As soon as we finish here, we're meeting her and we're heading out and we're going to shoot her. She lives in my building.
Is it going to be an outdoor shoot, like an outdoor scene type thing, or?
Yeah, because we figure she's someone on the go.
Yeah.
So, but she'll be masked. We'll be masked. We'll stay far
Sure.
away from her, and she's going to be talking on the phone. So,
Perfect.
but most of the people have been shooting in their apartments by themselves. Pretty
Cool.
much.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, so
Yeah.
they're doing it on their own and then sending you the footage? Is that how they're doing
Well,
it?
we look at it's just so bizarre. We watch them on Zoom
Yes.
as they're shooting, and then they send like the first pass,
Yeah.
and then we look at it and say, "Oh yeah," or just the lighting, or Rod Weber, who's doing the DP work on the show, is amazing. I know Rod because he used to be a performer also.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I worked on Civil War, he was part of the Civil War when it ran on Broadway.
Mhm.
So anyway, it's just a lovely group of people trying to be creative in a time when being creative, as you know, is a challenge.
Yes. A lovely bunch of coconuts, right?
Yes. I've
Well,
got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
If you ever need an extra, maybe a TV host guy that walks in or
Sure.
whatever.
His rival.
Jim Masters is here.
Yes.
Done a lot of extra
Will you
work
leave
over
the
the
show
years.
for it, Jim?
Huh?
Will you give up the show for it?
Give up this show?
Yeah, I didn't think.
What I could do is I could bring the show there and we could do behind the scenes.
Oh, that's right.
See? Everything could be remote now. I do have a clip that you guys provided, which I appreciate you doing, getting all the material together. And it's the clip first, because we have a lot of photos too, which is cool, from where he's playing Biden, the one that you sent where he's playing Biden.
Yeah,
That
that's
should,
great, yeah.
yeah, that
Jeff
should,
McCarthy, yeah.
that's a fun one. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll come back. And anything you want to set the scene up at all for the audience that we're going to see?
Basically, it's a call-in radio show, like you're similar to you, but it's not, instead of being video, it's still podcast. So people are calling in. So part of the fun is seeing what people are doing while they're on the phone. And Jeff is a part of a 3-person phone call. So it's Jerry Duncan, Jeff McCarthy, and Matthew Arkin as Biden. I mean,
Okay.
as Sanders.
As Sanders.
Yeah, and Jeff is Biden.
All right, here's a little clip, folks. Enjoy. Get ready to laugh, and we'll be back with our illustrious guests in just a second. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live.
Yes, well, Bernie and I share the same values when it comes to climate change. Now, Donald Trump and the Republicans are climate deniers, yet 97% of scientists say it's a fact. There's so little sea ice left that in the Arctic, the polar bears are hitchhiking to Wisconsin for an ice cube. That was a good one. Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Trump has diarrhea of the mouth. God only knows what comes out of his rear. Yeah, Trump is no genius. I heard he went to Walgreens and complained to the manager that the walls weren't green. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Vote for Joe Biden, the lean, mean gaffe machine, and I am fighting for the middle of the road. A little toad. I mean, a commode.
Big mouth. What's up? East to west, north to south. Everybody wants some big mouth. The Jerry and Duncan Show.
So that's just a third of a conversation. So those are just some of Jeff's.
Just a third, yes.
Yes. So he's actually sometimes listening to someone else talking and things like that. So conversations get interrupted.
Nick, earlier you had said that when you were at Syracuse, you were trained by teachers and things. What are the and things?
Teachers and things. Life in general. Other students. Also, because Syracuse had a big, it was a big regional, it's a large regional theater, and especially it was, the LORT movement was very early on back then.
Yes.
So there were so many actors and things that came through with Syracuse Stage, and we got to do shows with Syracuse. I mean, I got my equity card as my part of my graduation with Syracuse Stage. I'd done 3 Syracuse Stage shows by that point. So, so all the actors that came through and stuff, and watching them work, and they'd come into our classes, and I'll never forget, we were rehearsing Oklahoma, the college production of Oklahoma. And down the hallway was Ann Jackson and Eli Wallach rehearsing Twice Around the Park with Murray Shishkol. I think he had written it, and Arthur Storch was directing, who ran the department. So and they were in their pre-Broadway rehearsal period. So we were rehearsing our college production, and right next to us, they were rehearsing a Broadway show with 2 illustrious people. So, and sometimes on their breaks, they'd be peeking in at what we were doing, and we'd be peeking in at what they were doing. So it was a neat blend of things like that.
That is really cool. We have another clip too that we want to share with our fabulous lovities, our viewers around the world. Now, this is the featurette as well. So we'll show that, and we'll talk about that when we come back. I think it might be is it the GoFundMe featurette, Dean?
It could, yes, I think I sent that one.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at that, and I think you actually have the same expression, and I'm looking at the preview. I think you actually you're sitting in the same chair with the same lighting.
The laughing poster in the back.
And the same shirt, I think, too. That is your
I
look.
recognize Dean.
That is the Dean look. It's the same. I think it's the same. We'll find out. Here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm Bart Chateau from Broadway's Les Miserables and Disney Junior's Gaspard and Lisa. And I am co-producing a brand new web series premiering in October called The Jerry Duncan Show, which is based on a very popular political spoof column from Humor Times. And, well, you know what? Before I go on, I'm going to have Dean, the writer and creator, tell you a little bit more about The Jerry Duncan Show.
Driving in my car one day, I was listening to this local radio host, bombastic, arrogant, wouldn't let his guests speak, interrupted, actually was silent a few times. I think he was ordering food from a restaurant while his guest was talking. And so I said, you know what? This is just too funny.
And it was funny, especially when Dean brought it to Humor Times, and they loved it. It was even funnier when Dean brought the show to New York, off Broadway at the 13th Street Rep, and Broadway World thought it was hilarious. It ran for a week until the pandemic hit, and now we think it's going to be even funnier.
But now we have 4 episodes that are going to be on YouTube of the Jerry Duncan Show. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on YouTube.
So who is Jerry Duncan? Jerry Duncan is a 38-year-old bachelor who happens to live in small town Alaska. He barely graduated from high school. He happens to have one of the most popular podcasts out there. He broadcasts from his basement. He literally went from a pit to a mega hit overnight, sensation, and everybody wants to be on the show. Politicians, celebrities, everybody. But his personal life is a bit of a mess. And his relationship with his mother is a bit sketchy. Take it away, June.
Hi, I play his dead mother. Just remember, Jerry, your mother always loves you, and you'll love him too.
Politics has never been funnier.
Bart laughing makes me laugh.
Yeah, Bart.
Jim, can I say there's one more person that's a part of this team. Of course, we mentioned Rob Woodler, just amazing. We also have our social media director and publicist, Ellis Gage. He's done a great job of getting out social media for us, and we'll continue to do so.
No, you can't mention their names.
Okay. That's not his real name.
I do love that Dean is wearing the same shirt. That cracks me up.
It's everything's exact. The lighting, even that expression on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean's consistent.
You see the picture of Laurel and Hardy in the middle of the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have something else here that we're going to share. We have to screen share this, and this is Library Sideways.
Oh yes, that's Molly Erdman that we talked about. Molly Erdman as Elizabeth Warren.
But the clip is sideways?
No, that's just
that's what he called it, Sideways.
That's how they labeled it.
This is the one that had all the views.
So I just figured I'd throw out Library Sideways and then see what you guys say. Here it is, Library Sideways.
Oh, you'll love this.
Get it all set up, and here we go, and we'll have some fun. That was quick.
Hey,
just a tiny little blurb there.
Exactly,
but
Instagram.
Cool. She looks just like her. My God.
She's been. She talks like her. She's very funny. She's an LA actress. It was fun shooting with her in LA. She was up early anyways because she has a 9-year-old daughter. So she said, "I'm happy to shoot at 9 a.m. with you guys." So we shot her right after Matthew Arkin. So that was fun to go back and forth with them.
That is cool. Got a cool shot here too. The threesome, Three Musketeers.
The three producers.
Yes. I love the expressions on June and Bart. They look the same all the time. And June and Dean. Well, Bart always looks like that too.
Yes.
I love this too. Who created that? Design.
I did. I based it off something I saw, but I actually, put the mouth together and a few other things, embellished the hair a little bit more. But so I created it, but it's based off something I saw, but it's an original.
Really, really cool. And we do have some cool stuff here, Nick, that you sent from some other work that you've done. Tell us about, we'll run through some of these and maybe you can narrate what we're seeing here. Let's start with this one.
My life, that was Mysteries of Laura, which was really fun to shoot. It's crazy because, on television, the lines change so fast.
Yes.
So I was a EMT guy who was also a drug addict. And for a while I was suspected of being the murderer, but I was innocent.
You were innocent.
I was. Okay, that was from a musical. That's John Hildner and me. The musical Ever After.
Yep.
Which gorgeous score by Marcy and Zena. And John Hildner and I, we played characters in the show, but there was this production number where we also had to be in the ensemble, and we were gypsies, and we were the oldest gypsies. So there was all these 20-year-olds and us trying to, we were the over 50 group. I think I was around 58 there, 57. And so we're trying to keep up with the young kids dancing. So we were we represented the old gypsies. Oliver, I got to be Fagin out on the Harbor Lights Theater Company. And it's very funny. It was the costume people did a great job, and the hair and makeup. It was just really fun to do. I sent my mother the picture.
Did you?
And she didn't recognize me. She's like, "Why'd you send me this picture?" I'm like, "That's me." She goes, "That's not you."
That's not you.
Yes. I'm like, it is. So Harbor Lights out on Staten Island. She Loves Me, Broadway revival, the first Broadway revival. That's me with the eye patch on the side. But that was my Broadway debut. Scott Ellis directed, Robbie Marshall choreographed. And I was in the ensemble. Then I covered Lee Wilkoff as C-Post, and I also covered Jonathan Freeman, who you see in the center there as the head waiter. And I got to go on for both of them. And
very cool. Christmas
Carol, Madison Square Garden. That 10-year run there, I was Bob Cratchit. That's one of my Tiny Tims. I'm chauffeuring around London.
Very cool.
This is, okay. So this is, I direct and helped write a show called Woody Says, which is the life and music of Woody Guthrie.
Yep.
And we've been touring all over the world for over 15 years now. So this is when we were opening in London. And this is at the West End Theatre we were at. And this is the cast with one of our producers, Sam, there in the middle. So it's Darcy DeVille and David Lutkin, who got the rights from the Woody Guthrie estate to do it. Darcy's a huge fiddle player. She's recorded with Indigo Girls and all sorts of people, and she lives all over. And Andy Tierstein, who's a brilliant writer and musician also. And Helen, who played the mother and stuff. She played the bass, and with David is his wife Sherry, and me on the side. This was our London opening. And what was so cool about London is, well, we're playing in the West End in a tiny 300-seat theater. But their theater had a lobby, and every Sunday after the show, we would have a hoot nanny where everyone brings whatever instruments they want and plays for like an hour, hour and a half. And the lobby had a bar, and by the end of the run, there was hundreds of people turning up in this little lobby, and they would bring all their instruments, and we would just all play music together. So Helen Russell, I should say. And it was just amazing. It was when we played at ART, it was said that it was a unique experience because all the people would show up to watch the show, and they'd put their instruments under the seats. And then after the show, everyone would come together and gather together to make music. So it was a very unique experience. We played the show in China, we played in Israel, we played all over the world, and it continues on. We were supposed to be right now at Actors Theatre of Louisville, but we are not there right now. But when everything opens up again, we will be back. And there's tons of clips online. You can look at some of the hootenannies online. Under Woody Says, S-E-Z. Mary Poppins, me and Mark Ledbetter backstage when we were. Mary Poppins was crazy because you're playing so many people. So literally you'd do a number, then you'd run down in the basement of the theater and you'd put on different makeup and wipe off everything and become someone else. So here I am as a very old banker. That's a show I directed. My friend Peter Boyden, who I knew from She Loves Me, he has a barn up in Vermont, a beautiful barn in Waitsfield, Vermont, which is used for weddings. And every year we do one show. And that was the very first year. We were doing the Robber Bridegroom in the barn, which is perfect because the set is a barn. And it's my dear friend Corley Preston, who's a brilliant Shakespearean actress. And that was one of the rehearsal shots of them rehearsing. A very funny number.
So was milking a cow part of the audition process?
Yes, you can see the things you sit on milking from behind.
Yes.
The milking stools are right there.
Wait a minute. That's a whole other show, Milking from Behind.
I think that's an adults only show.
I was going to say, that's the late night web series.
Yes.
Hide the women and children. That's a cool.
That's our set from Woody Guthrie that we've toured all over with.
Very nice.
Luke Cantarella did the set. So we have historical pictures of Woody Guthrie. And then what's great is see these crates that we've toured all over the world with. Yeah. The crates, we first did this. We originated the show in Edinburgh at the Fringe Festival. We were one of the picks of the festival. And then the first time we did it with a real set and everything was, I was artistic director of Lyric Theater of Oklahoma for a year. And we did it there. And that's the first time we had a set, and I brought Luke to do the set. So those crates are actually, someone was getting rid of an old fence in Oklahoma, and Woody was from Oklahoma, which is so cool. And so those crates are actually made of someone's old fence in Oklahoma. And the first time they were on set under the lights, insects started crawling out from that had been burrowed in the boards. So we had to take them out and treat them so termites and stuff wouldn't get everywhere. But it's an actual old fence and stuff. So it's a cool, and the cast is amazing. It's 4 people. All those instruments you see there, those 4 people play.
Wow.
They'll put down something, pick up something else. It's amazing what they do.
The flooring is really nice too.
Yeah, the flooring is based on, we didn't want a wood plank set because there's so many of those shows that have that kind of look.
Plus,
so
you didn't want to walk the plank.
Exactly. No pirates for us. So it's a rusted tin roof. Because the idea of the show is that Woody was always looking for his home. His home kind of disappeared when he was around 12, and he was on his own from the age of 12. So he wandered the rest of his life. So that the set represents the home he's always looking for.
Ah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful set, and seeing it there.
Yeah, and it travels really well. All that comes apart easily. That's Oliver again with the kids.
Yeah,
and yeah,
really, really nice. Cool stuff. Here's another one here.
When I was also in Oklahoma, I did Sweetie Todd with Emily Skinner and Jeff McCarthy. So that's my good friend, Emily Skinner, who's amazingly talented and brilliant actress and performer. And she was Mrs. Love, and Jeff McCarthy was Sweeney Todd. So that was the last show I did there.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah. Christmas Carol, but a different production I got to go back to Syracuse and be Bob Cratchit there a couple of years ago. So that was, and it's so fun to look back at all the Tiny Tims.
Yeah.
I mean, we really do look like father, so that was great. And I'm still in touch with him, and he's grown up now and probably looking at college around now. So it's it's really interesting. Okay, this was Mystery of Edwin Drude. You could see me in the back with my mutton chops. But it was Cheetah Rivera's birthday.
Oh, boy.
So Scott Ellis had this amazing idea that we'd all have a rose, and at different points, we were supposed to all give Cheetah a rose. So by the end of the show, she would end up with this huge bouquet of roses, representing all the years she's lived. I will not say how many years that was, but
how many years was it?
I'm not going to say. Cheetah will kill me. No, I think it was her 80th or something. It was like.
And you do not want to be attacked by a cheetah.
No, but what was so funny, at the end of the show, I got to run off stage and bring on a cake.
Oh, wow.
And so we brought the cake on, and then Cheetah gave a lovely speech. And instead of just blowing out the candles, she took the knife, instead of cutting it, she stabbed it.
So what was she thinking about as she did that?
Well, the Mystery of Edwin Drude, of course. But it was so funny because we weren't expecting her to do that at all. You could see Jim Walton's expression and Betsy Wolfe. And we weren't expecting her to stab the cake. So I love that they got a shot of it. And it was just so funny. She was so sweet. And she just took the knife and stabbed it for all it was worth.
In the upper left-hand corner of this photo, the actor that's smiling and just about ready to clap.
Yes.
Boy, does he not look in that particular shot like the Christian evangelist Pat Robertson.
Yeah, he sure
does. He not?
That's Jim Walton from the original cast of Merrily We Roll Along. So Broadway.
Does he not look like Pat Robertson
there? Totally does. I love Jim Walton.
Really, really cool. So were any sermons conducted on set? I'm sure lots of prayers.
Well, he actually we both covered Greg Edelman as the preacher. And Jim went on for him. I went on for the other 2 I covered. I covered 3 people, and Jim covered 2. And Jim went on for him. This was the TV show High Maintenance, when they moved from being a web series, which is so interesting, and they moved to HBO, picked them up, and then reshot and released it, High Maintenance. And this was from the first year. This was one of the first episodes. And I was brought in to be a next door neighbor, and before this guy moves to New York, and his dog gets into my trash, and I bring his dog back. And this is Bodie, and I'm not a dog person, but Bodie was the sweetest dog. Bodie was in that Peter Pan Live. He was the dog in that, and just as sweet as could be. And the dog's supposed to get into my trash, and I yell at him, and then I drag him back home to the next door.
Yeah.
And after the first take when I yelled at him, he wouldn't go back into the trash because I had yelled at him. So I had to yell at him, but be really sweet. And they were going to, because everything was being shot from the dog's perspective, you weren't really going to see me. You just see my legs and my hands and things.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to get the dog to do. So I would yell at him and say, "Oh, you're such a good dog." I had to feel like I was yelling at him, but I would say nice things. So he would, get into the trash and do what he was supposed to do. But he was so sweet. He was upset because I yelled at him. I was like, "No, you're a good dog." But you could see what a great dog he was.
Yeah.
He's just the sweetest, most beautiful animal. It was so great.
Really
Smart as
cool.
could be.
Got this cool picture of Dean, too, that we used in our promo. Dean, where were you when this was taken? Looks like
I
a
was in
beautiful...
Alaska. I was actually in Alaska. So I've actually been up there because the Jerry Duncan show takes place in Alaska. And it was great just to see the scenery, just to be there, to get an overview of the state. I was on a cruise, so we got to go to a lot of cities, and it was so much fun. So I think that's where I kind of thought Jerry Duncan should reside and start his career from Alaska, and have a connection with Sarah Palin, the other popular person in Alaska. And so they're both from fictitiously, well, at least Jerry's from Wasilla, the same town as Sarah Palin.
Really cool. We got a nice shot you guys sent of Matthew Arkin, too, with the Vermont
Oh,
That was actually a week
ball
ago.
cap.
yeah. The hat had just arrived in the mail, so he put it on, and then the wig, actually, we were supposed to start shooting at 10, and the Bernie Sanders wig arrived at like 10:03. So he put it on with the hat, and then he became, then he was Bernie Sanders. He was so funny. Matthew's such a kind soul. It's just funny, and he knew exactly what to do with it. And he's a good egg. I'm so thrilled it worked out that he could do the show.
Yeah, we had him on as a guest. I said about a month and a half ago, and he was just terrific. A real delight to have an opportunity to chat with, and it was before the announcement of this happening. And I think it's cool that you guys are bringing it, to the web, because the response in the short period it had, on stage was probably fantastic, and people were hoping it would continue. And I think rather than waiting for things to hopefully reopen, who knows when that is, because there's so many variables and so many things happening with that, keep the energy and the passion for the project going in whatever format, platform, venue you can, right?
Absolutely. It's all about trying to keep things moving forward when everything is at a standstill. Mm-hmm. So it was also a great time to get people that normally wouldn't be available. The fact that Matthew came in and did this, I mean, normally Matthew's on TV series and things like that, and he's very busy. And so the fact that he had time right now because things were slower because there's less going on. So we were able to reach people that we may not have been able to get otherwise. So,
and we've gotten some really good responses from these actors. I mean, Molly wrote sent a note like, was great fun to do this, and Matthew I know Matthew enjoyed it. I know Josh is really enjoying it as the lead of Jerry Duncan. And so they're having fun, and we're gonna parlay this thing. I mean, we're really determined to get this thing to the next level after the YouTube series, and to get more YouTube series made. We'd like to start while we're waiting to go to the next step. We'd like to make about 4 more, and we have some great ideas and some great talent lined up.
We're also looking forward to being able to really shoot with people, and not do everything remote. So our fingers are crossed that, there's a cure and a vaccine and people wear their masks and we can lick this thing. So, and then we can all get back to our lives.
I'd rather not lick it. I would just rather it end. I mean, I don't feel that close
beat
to
it than lick it, right? There's some afternoon humor for you.
That's a whole other.
Yes.
Boy, you're throwing out those one-liners today, and I'm catching them. Usually, I'm the ones that's throwing them out. All sounds fascinating. Kathy is saying that as well, and everybody's really enjoying it. Christine was saying, enjoying the conversation. The dog that you showed earlier looks like an Irish wolfhound.
Yeah, it's a big dog, and Irish wolfhounds are big.
Yeah.
I forget what he was. He was part. I can't remember. It's a gorgeous dog. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous dog. Smart as could be. The dog was. The dog was the actor. It had to go into this room. Then it had to go into this room. Then it had to go into the backyard. Then it had to run around, and it did it all as a sequence.
Right.
They taught the dog the sequence, and then it remembered the whole. It was amazing. But maybe we'll get Bodie on Jerry Duncan.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. So
or get Art's dog or my dog. We have.
Yes, we'll get a dog in there somewhere. But it's been really fun shooting with these people, and I think everyone's enjoying being able to do what they do again, be part of that process and creative again. And Dean's been so generous about letting people have spontaneity in the shooting also. What if I did this? What if I did that? Dean's like, oh yeah, do that, try that. So Dean's a wonderful, wonderful collaborator and a good guy in terms of that. So it makes the series and the comedy of the series more fun.
And do you second that emotion as far as working with Nick?
Oh, for sure, the best.
No, I'm evil.
We couldn't do this without Nick. I mean, Nick's not just a director. I mean, he's like an advisor. He knows a lot about producing. I've had a lot of questions that I had to run by Nick, and Nick answered my questions when I was like really panicky, to be honest. And he calmed me down. He said, "This is what you need to do," or "This is an idea for you." And it was fun working with Nick because we've had to collaborate on this make changes on the script. And I think Nick and I spent about probably an hour and a half just doing some rewrites last Friday night. I mean, that's and it was fun. We had a lot of laughs while we were doing it, but we really improved the script. And that's where Nick comes in as a director. I mean, he's kind of the go-between between me and the actors, but he's a jack of all trades. He knows how to write, he knows how to produce, and he knows how to direct, and he knows how to act. You can't beat that.
I'll take that. Thanks, Dave. I can't hear you.
Did you hear?
You can't
now
hear?
Now I can hear you, yeah.
You're hearing voices. I was going to say, you guys related?
We almost look like we're related, which is so funny.
That's really funny. So this is really cool. I mean, it's very exciting and, it really taking on the new technology. It's a whole new world, right? You're used to the bigger stage, the bigger venue, the bigger platform. And now you're sort of condensing it. And there's a lot of adjustment to that too, isn't there, for everybody involved? When you're working in a television studio, radio studio, on location, on stage, whatever it is, where there's more space and more room and all the equipment and all the people involved, room to breathe and all, it's a little bit different. And now with this format here, there's a lot of adjustment for a lot of people, right?
Well, it was really fun. And it was actually, I think it was Bart and Rod's idea, that our wonderful DP, that we should have a rehearsal with most of the actors that we can. And so the fact that we all got on a Zoom call and people got to read scenes with each other and stuff like that. So even when the other actor's not there, at least they felt what it's like to be able to do it with the other actor and stuff. So that was a very productive day. And I think that paid off a lot. So we did that. We actually got to do a rehearsal with everyone on Zoom and then shoot everyone individually around their schedules and things. So that was good. So there was some camaraderie there and stuff, and people got to meet who they're doing their scenes with, and it was a good day.
And this isn't the easiest show to do because you have to be able to do impersonations. So we were trying to figure out, some actors and actresses that had the experience already, and then some that were just really good actors that could pick this up. And they've done a great job so far. I mean, they're right on the money because people, we try to get them to exaggerate and go over the top, just like Tina Fey doing Sarah Palin, because it just makes it funnier. But these people are talented enough that they've made it happen so far. And it's going to really be great once it's all edited and put together.
They're all very funny. And Dean's written some very funny sketches. I mean, the column, how many have you done now, Dean?
I've done 100, and I'm writing one tomorrow, Kermit the Frog. About 100, it'll be the 148th column.
Now, are these episodes based on, are they topical, are they timely, or are they more generic?
They're so timely. I mean, if I see something happening in the news, I grab my legal pad and start writing down lines that are actually quoted. Because a lot of people read the column and say, gee, that was really a funny line. I go, no, Trump actually said that. Or they'll say, they can't tell the difference sometimes between fact and fiction. And that's what makes this fun. I just keep them guessing. But I have a lot of fun with it. And it's a little different because it's just Jerry Duncan interviewing the guest in the column. Here it's two different stories. It's the mother and Jerry, and then it's the interviews as a radio host. But the column's strictly interviews. And it's so much fun because you just can take it over the top and say whatever you want. I have never, ever been censored by my publisher, James Israel over at Humor Times. He really lets me do what I want. I think he's having a lot of laughs himself, except when you talk to him, he's a real serious guy. So I'm thinking, this guy's a publisher of Humor Times? I haven't heard him laugh once. But I guess he must, how some guys are really funny behind closed doors, but he's really, really good at. He has, Will Durst writes a column for him. He has a lot of people that write columns for him, and they all have a different take on politics. It's mostly politics. But some of my favorite celebrities I like to bring in are like Roseanne, and just a lot, she's so crass and stupid. And I just like to go over the top with her and people like that. So it makes us a lot of fun. It's not just politicians. And because of our experience here with the Jerry Duncan show, I introduced some characters from Alaska, just regular town folk. I had Jerry Duncan in the last column interviewed a dog sled, one of those dog sled mushers. And I'm going to have him interview some of his friends in upcoming columns. And I got some really good feedback. So I know this is working, just to have regular folks in Alaska be interviewed by Jerry Duncan. So it should play well with the YouTube series, too.
Yeah, we'll have a whole town.
Yeah, the whole town of Wasilla.
That's cool. That is
all the feelings, all of them.
So, filming on location, how have the locals responded? Are they excited that they're going to be on the map with this?
Well, we haven't gotten to film on location yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah. No, so it's all people in their apartments or houses in LA or all over. But once we get to there, we're hoping it should come out on YouTube within a couple weeks because the goal is to finish shooting. We have one more day, 2 days. We're shooting later today. In fact, I have to leave soon because we're going to go shoot.
Yeah.
And then we have one more day after this. Then we're already starting to edit, and then we'll get that last piece put together because we want to get everything up and running before the election. Because once the election happens, the whole landscape changes.
Sure.
And that'll be the next 4 episodes on a new landscape, which. Who knows what happens when the rocket lands?
To be determined.
We'll all see. Yes.
Well, now, if folks want to learn more, where do they go? Is there a website for it?
Yeah. Do you have the website information?
Well, I know they can go. Oh, you know what? I don't have I can get the website to them, but
I bet you if you just Google the Jerry Duncan show.
Yeah, if you do Google, it may come up with the column, it may come up with the website. There's a lot of different things, but they can get to the website through the Jerry Duncan show. I know they can. I know our email address is the jerryduncans@gmail.com. If anybody wants to send an email, they can reach us that way too, and I can get all.
And there's the fundraiser on Facebook, and eventually that link will lead to the show itself.
Correct.
Like hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks. So.
And they can go to the Jerry Duncan show, and they can go to and put in GoFundMe, and it'll get to all the information that they need as well.
Fantastic. Well, this is really exciting, guys. And I know you have to scoot off to do some shooting, and we're going to get ready for our show for tonight. But this was a real pleasure, and keep me posted on everything as you go along. You're both welcome back on the show anytime, and it's really exciting. And I'm rooting for you guys, and I can't wait to see it. And I wish you nothing but the best. Continue, creating and making people laugh and inspiring people through your work individually and collectively. And it was a pleasure having you both on the show, guys.
A pleasure being here and pleasure meeting you. You're terrific.
I appreciate that. Now Lovities. Everybody has said you're now.
And the Lovities. We're now Lovities. I love that.
You can't top that, right?
No. I want a crowd or something.
You've waited all your life to be a Lovity. And on the Jim Masters Show Live, the viewers have called you guys Lovities. You're inducted with some wonderful people that are joining us as well from around the world. Great comments here. June says yes on Facebook and Instagram, all the contact points and everything as well. Guys, thanks for being with us live from Phoenix, live from New York. And hopefully we'll see each other.
Talk to you later.
Hopefully we'll see each other in person and break bread. That would be really cool. Love to do that when we're able to do that. And Renee in Iowa says, thank you for being with us here today as well. Willie in Holland says, bye, bye, bye. Was that In Sync? Bye, 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 I think?
Yes, it was.
In Sync, yeah. Bye, bye, bye.
Yes.
All right, gang. Kathy Short says, thanks, gents. Looking forward to more. Cool stuff. Dean KANER, Nick Corley, a pleasure having you both on the show. Again, continued success. Keep me posted. Let's stay connected. And Kathy Walker in New York City says,
we'll send the 4 videos over when they're done. We'll send the 4 episodes over when they're done.
Maybe we'll have the whole cast on for fun.
Oh,
that would be fun from all over.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
We'll have our opening night party with you.
That would be great. Pop the champagne and everything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You take care. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have fun shooting, and we'll talk to you again soon, all right?
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Terrific, right? To have the guys here on the show with our special afternoon episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Again, the Jerry Duncan Show is going to be a cool, fun, political humor web series. Again, it came from the Broadway show. And of course, when everything came to an end, or at least paused in March, rather than waiting for things to reopen, because nobody knows when that is, and it probably will be later in 2021, hopefully. They're putting it together, so it's going to be a YouTube series. It's going to be really, really cool and a lot of fun. Great to have both Nick and Dean on the show. They have their own individual careers. Dean, of course, a well-known playwright and screenwriter, and Nick, actor, director, and writer as well. And check it out. Again, just Google The Jerry Duncan Show. You have all the cool stuff that comes up. And this was a lot of fun. Again, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys are doing well. Everybody's here. They'll be ready for tonight as well. Gilligan is here. I know you guys love Gilligan. And George is here. George really enjoyed this episode too. George Burns is always here. He'll be here tonight as well. Absolutely. And we've got our cup of coffee here. Tonight we'll have our fancy glass and really, really cool. You see a little chocolate. We put a little chocolate. Just put a little chocolate in the coffee. Really good. We're also going to wish Juanita in South Africa a happy birthday on tonight's show. And then we also have a brand new cast member who is a cast of character member. You know how we have George and Jeannie and Gilligan and Silver and Jimmy. Well, for the birthday last week, this huge box was shipped, and this really cool, I don't know where we're going to fit it. Might not be able to stay on the set the whole time, but tonight we will debut a brand new cast of character. And that's going to be fantastic. Cast member of the characters. That's going to be really cool. So how's everybody doing today? It is Saturday, a beautiful, stunning day here along the coast. Really, really beautiful and really, really nice. And I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. And really enjoyed hearing more of their political humor web series. You could tell they're having fun with it. Absolutely. Looks great. Thank you for this early show. You got it. We got a really, really fun show tonight with Steve Solier. Again, he has been in so many different productions, and he's had this wonderful friendship with there's Steve. He's on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. He is an industry veteran. He's done it all, from writing television shows, writing for television, writing for film, as shows like Murder, She Wrote, and on and on and on, as well as being a voice actor and voicing some really cool characters over the years as well. We're going to talk about all that, and we have clips and all kinds of cool things. And he's an actor as well. Really, really cool stuff. Steve Solier is on tonight live from Los Angeles. It's going to be a really, really cool show. I'm looking forward to it. We booked him weeks ago. We thank Dean KANER for joining us and Nick Corley for joining us as well on this pop-up, well, not really pop-up. This was structured. This afternoon show. No, nothing yet, Willie. Nothing yet. We'll have to check our post office. Probably still in shipment. The mail has been very slow lately. Beautiful autumn day here in Pinehurst, North Carolina. 70 degrees, sunny. Looking forward to tonight's show. It is stunningly beautiful here today. In between, we're going to head out to the coast. Well, we're on the coast, but we're going to do some cycling. See you tonight. Enjoy your day. Rainy and cold in Iowa. Oh, boy. Hopefully, if the jet stream didn't go from west to east, we would try to shoot some of this beautiful weather back to you. You packed up 2 shoe boxes full of toys and things needed for children overseas for Christmas. That's very beautiful. The church participates in Operation Christmas Child every year. You love packing the boxes. Juanita, great show. Had a wonderful birthday at the beach. Some sun, although cold for spring. See you all later. Happy birthday to you, and we'll sing happy birthday to you tonight on the show when we're on. Flower power, warm sun, blue skies, cool breeze, fall weather. Jen is zen. That's what we like to see. Good to see everybody here and new folks joining us as well. Kathy Short, great afternoon entertainment. Thanks, Jim. See you later. Cool guys. Thanks, Jim, as well. Good stuff. Thank you for having Jerry Duncan Creators on today. Absolutely my pleasure. All right, gang, we're going to wrap up. We've got a lot of stuff we have to do here today and some cool things we're getting ready for tonight, but we also have some family and friend events that are happening this afternoon. So relax, take care of one another, be well, love one another. Hope you enjoyed this afternoon edition of the Jim Masters Show Live. Hello to everybody watching on YouTube exclusively. If you're watching for the first time, we are here generally every night live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Sometimes we pop up on YouTube exclusively with an afternoon show or some other fun thing, and we did that today. So we welcome everybody. Kisses from Willie and Holland, and bye all from Renee. And you guys have a terrific afternoon or evening. I know Willie's going into her evening. Juanita, good to see you as well. And as we always say, don't forget to smile. That's right. Share the levity. Find your zen place. Mine is the ocean, and we're headed there right now. So we look forward to that. And take care of one another. Love one another. That is really, really important to do. And be well and enjoy your day. And we appreciate our guests, and we love having fun with you guys. See you all this evening. Lovity. Have fun today. See you tonight. And Willie with smiles. All right, gang. Fun show today and really, really cool afternoon show. We'll try to do some more of these. We're not here on Sunday this week, so you are released from custody. No show tomorrow because we have some family events happening, and so we're going to take the day off, which is really, really nice. So we did 2 shows today for you. An afternoon show at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and a night show tonight for double the pleasure and double the levity on the Jim Master Show Live, coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, with our very special guest, industry veteran Steve Soliar. Again, voiceover artist, actor, writer extraordinaire, an amazing career. He'll be live from Los Angeles tonight. We're really looking forward to that. So go out and have some fun. Enjoy yourself. We'll be here tonight. I will probably be dressed differently. I'm sure that you'll be dressed in your evening attire as well. Who knows, right? Yes, thank you very much. We look forward to it. We really look forward to it. So, all right, gang. I'll leave you with this. You go from that to smiles, which is what we're all about here on the Jim Master Show Live. All right, gang, we're going to take off. You take care. You be well. Thanks for being with us in this episode here on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. We love that. Hit the notification bell so that way there you don't miss any of the content we have here for you that we work very hard to create for you on YouTube. Tonight we will be on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and Twitch, all at Jim Masters TV. All right, gang, a couple more comments, and we are going to scoot out. You will be in your PJs tonight, and you will continue to be zen as always. Thanks, Willie, and thanks, Flower Power, and all of you from all around the world. Thanks for being a part of this Saturday afternoon episode of the Jim Master Show Live. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Jim Master Show Live. Take care. Enjoy your day. We'll see you soon.